to this first game here, as we see the leadout was
Yeah, very easy one to fix, I imagine. Something we'll be able to do very, very quickly and get us back into the game as soon as possible.
And the lead there, Adam, you coming out there from Killen's side, quite an aggressive lead straight off that turn one. And the Arcanine from Matthias' side as well, nice defensive kind of lead, just a bit more safer, I would say.
Yeah, definitely a pretty balanced lead from Matthias. That is something that the team is known for, something you have to be able to play around with. It's going to be a certainly tough one to try and navigate though when you're receiving a lot of pressure from the side of Kylan's team, but we're just going to get things squared away with the consoles and get us back into that game number one.
When you look at both teams as well, both teams opting to bring the Tinglu as well as kind of like a nice defensive pivot, and we have seen how well that has performed as one of the newer moves.
It's going to be the Fluttering Arcanine, of course, thanks to Chiyu and the Mingus. So certainly balanced options from both teams, like something very aggressive and then something, a little bit more supportive and able to help out. I will say the Beads of Ruin is going to be really nice for that Fluttermane, which is going to be enjoying the ability to potentially just take advantage of that itself and have an easier time dealing with something traditionally quite bulky like the Amoonguss.
Yeah, and that's the big thing, is we do see the Protect come out from that Amoonguss. Doesn't want to take any unnecessary damage here to allow that Chiyu just to potentially get a big attack off here. And like you said, take advantage of that ability, as we see a dazzling gleam from the Fluttermane and a nasty plot here from that Chiyu on Killen's side of the field.
Yeah, Chiyu looking to be a big focal point here, and it is going to be a Will-O-Wisp over onto that side, trying to block the Spore that could have been coming out from the Amoonguss. So if you Will-O-Wisp your own Fluttermane, you do have a status condition that you're not really impacted by. It does miss those. The Spore, once again, becomes an option. But if the Arcanine's throwing Will-O-Wisp over to that side, the Arcanine's actually leaving you alone, which is kind of nice, I think, in this case.
Yeah, especially after getting that nasty plot up, because now you are a real threat to even the Arcanine that will resist a lot of these attacks. Does have access to Dark Pulse, which can be a huge damaging option for Killen to go into that Arcanine removed from the field. But I think the most prominent thing that you want to look at is that Fluttermane. We are just going to see a Protect here, and the Amoonguss is going to be freed up to go for an attack this turn.
Yeah, Chiyu trying to stick around on the field after he got that nasty block boost. Not going to be caught by this dazzling gleam, and the Amoonguss isn't going to take that too kindly. A critical hit, bringing it down to just above half. Arcanine once again trying to Will-O-Wisp the side spot and getting it this time. So Fluttermane now unable to be scored. It already has a status condition, and that is a really, really tough turn. Against a multitude of Pokemon available for Matthias. Beautiful late game defensive terrestrialization here in our finals.
Brilliant play there from Matthias, picking that best opportunity possible to close down this match. That flying terrestrialization, enough to allow it to hang on, to get the advantage there with this Fluttermane going first, knocking out that Chiyu, and then closing it up with the Stomping Tantrum. Now just the Amoonguss, and it's going to not going to be able to do it. And Matthias is our 2023 European International Champion.
Terrestrialization can help you in the late game. A massive credit to Matthias for executing that strategy, saving it, holding it, waiting to go on the exact moment he needs it, and sticking around through that dazzling lead. Nowhere near the knockout once he drops that dark typing. A beautifully played set by both trainers. I think it's really nice to see the adaptations as well. The back and forth, Matthias controlling game one, then obviously Kylan being able to play the Amoonguss and the Gyarados combination shown so nicely in game number two. But once that was revealed, Matthias was like, I'm not going to let you do that. I'm going to make sure I focus a little bit more on this Gyarados and cause you a whole lot more problems.
We are here indeed. Thank you very much, Adam and Lee, with your 2023 European International Championships Senior Matthias! Matthias, huge congratulations. congratulations, of course. It must feel really good. I know that we had mentioned your brother had actually come very close to becoming an international champion, but you are now able to bring the first place back home. How does it feel?
Mi sento felice, non era un matchup facile ed è stata una partita bella.
I feel very happy. The matchup wasn't that easy and the games actually were very good, so I'm happy.
Yeah, most definitely. I think that was a big treat for us all to see as well. Very hard fought between the both of you. So I wanted to ask very quickly, we saw there was a side burn from your Arcanine to the Flutter main where you avoided the sleep. Is that something that you understood going into the matchup?
Era una roba che avevo parlato dall'inizio per cercare di non prendere scora.
It was planned from the beginning. I didn't want to get scored by the Mongoose, so we decided to go for the side where it was.
And it made a lot of sense. I think we've seen James Bake do a very similar play in Europe, in American regional back earlier on in the season. But going into the game 3, there was a lot of pressure. You made some really good reads and you understood what the matchup required of you. The team lose. We saw the Terra into flying in order for it to survive. Did you identify that was the key moment for you to win out game 3?
Ho fatto la tira fly per non morire da mangiabrillio di Fluttermane.
Yeah, I had to Terraflying to survive the Dazzle game from Fattermain, so that was very key for the match.
And it was an amazing play as well. Of course, it has gone ahead and rewarded you with that title. So, we're very excited to have seen your progress throughout the tournament. Huge congratulations. And should I say, bravissimo e complimenti. We got your champion here of the senior division. We're going to go ahead and throw it over to a VT before we come back for the Masters Division Finals. You will not want to miss it. Adam and Lee, yes, we are here with your finalists for the 2023 Pokemon European International Championships of the video game title! On my left-hand side, we have Gabriel Adachi. And on the right-hand side, we have Paul Chua. I think everyone will agree with me. We have some very, very experienced trainers here on the stage looking to go ahead and grab up their first international title. They both come very close in the past, both finalists, of course, with their respect in previous years. Gabriel, it must be feeling really good. You're so close in going ahead and grabbing that title.
Maybe this time I can get it.
Maybe indeed you got a 50-50 chance, right? But of course yourself, Paul, must be very excited. A lot of pressure, a lot of nerves going into this. How do you feel?
I'm a little nervous as always. Like Gabriel is the only guy I lost to this weekend, so pretty nervous going into this match.
So there's a lot of mind games at stake, right? And we had spoken, I think, from the past couple of days. There's a lot to it in different sort of factors that you got to take into consideration. So throughout the entirety of the weekend, what Pokemon would you say has been the most vital or useful to you in your team?
I think probably Flurry, but Palafin and Mungus has been great as well. Palafin is like so good, especially with Substitute. It's amazing.
It is quite good. I think just being able to find that niche in order to have a lot of options to dispatch of any of your opponent's Pokemon with the synergy is really, really nice. So, Paul, same question over to you, sir.
Roaring Moon's been my favorite that I've been using over the weekend. It does a lot of damage.
You think it's better than Baxcalibur?
Yeah, in certain situations, yeah, I'd say.
Cherish ball, Rory.
Indeed, so I think what we're going to go ahead and do, of course, is we're going to go ahead and get these trainers ready for the final battle to crown our international champion of EUIC. Trainers, good luck, have fun, and please proceed to the table.
After 3 incredible days of competition so far, we have 2 impressive Masters Division trainers that are here waiting to battle it out to claim the title of European International Champion. Here we go, it is the on the opposing side for Paul, but paired up with the Fluttermane. Alright, so we got the Palafins hitting the field right away for both of our trainers, identifying that this is going to be a powerhouse Pokemon that they can rely upon, and now this really does put them into a position where they can start to pivot these Palafin off of the field and start to play that mind game of, okay, do I actually switch it out, or do I try to keep it on the field to start getting those punches in? That's the thing about Excalibur, is the Pokemon though with the target on its back, Paul already identified as a difficult Pokemon that you can't always hit for good damage, so needs to be able to get an early knockout. Gabrielle switching the Palafin off the field in favor of that Amoonguss that's going to be able to apply some spore pressure in the following turns. A Palafin apiece leaving the field. We're going to see them come back both with heroic transformations later on in the match. That's going to be a really pivotal thing to have in your back pocket, just knowing that you do have that extra amplified damage at your disposal. But knowing that the Arcanine is switching in here, this is one of the ways that Paul can start to try to keep his Baxcalibur in check when it comes down to its attacking moves, because the Baxcalibur does have that clear amulet item that adamantly we're talking about earlier, and that will not allow for this Intimidate drop to drop this Baxcalibur's attack stat. And to add insult to injury, it's gone for the Poison Terror type, which means it's going to be able to resist those Fairy type attacks. Gets a cheeky critical hit on the opposing Amoonguss, however, but Baxcalibur able to fire off a powerful Icicle Crash that will do so much damage to that Fluttermane. It's now in a very dangerous position. It's a very heavy hitter for Paul, so you might want to try and switch it out, preserve it for later on in the match. Yep, you can see that Paul's trying to hover over how to try to keep this Baxcalibur in check. You did have the Baxcalibur go for the Terra Poison, and so that's one way that you really saw allow that Baxcalibur to take that Dazzling Gleam so effectively. The defensive Terra types have been strong. The Amoonguss actually getting out of the way here, because even though it's going to resist the Fairy type attacks that the Fluttermane is locked into, it doesn't want to take an unnecessary Flare Blitz from that Arcanine. Intimidate will come onto the field. That's only really going to bother the Arcanine on Paul's side. No clear amulets to be found here. It's holding those safety goggles instead. You can see how little these Fairy type moves are doing though. Yes, that's actually be just a little bit of chip damage there, and the Flare Blitz on top of that as well for the Arcanine switch in that Gabrielle brought in is going to take that handedly as well. Blade Rush, that's going to do a significant chunk of damage there to the Arcanine. This could be the opening Paul needs though. After Blade Rush, you know, moves are guaranteed to hit, is going to be dealing double damage, and that's why we often see Pokemon like Excalibur protecting on this turn. And that's where the mind games come into effect. The protect may be obvious, so you could ignore the Excalibur, maybe double down into the partner slot, but then if you're Gabrielle and you want to play boldly, you could always go for a move here, thinking that your opponent's going to protect that protect. Yeah, that's definitely something that Paul's going to have to navigate around, as you do see just a switch here. That Fluttermane now going to retreat back into its Pokeball, reset the choice specs for a little bit later, and the Palafin now to take that Pokemon's place. Yeah, Palafin here to play. We're going to see the Arcanine leave the field on Gabrielle's side of the field, and the Arcanine on Paul's side is a difficult spot because it really cannot do too much to that opposing Baxcalibur, particularly because of its thermal exchange, not to be able to be hit by any of those fire type moves. Yeah, you are going to see the Protect come through here, though, with the Ice Shard, just to try to whittle away at the Fluttermane that was right there.
Having that Fluttermane, once again applying pressure. I wonder if we're going to see another Terra Poison here.
Makes a lot of sense knowing that you are looking down a Fluttermane here, and the same leads in game number 1, but it's about the adjustments on what happens on this first turn that can really change the tide here and maybe get Paul a win to be able to tie up this series. The first adjustment is that we will see a switch on Paul's side to kick off the second game, and it's going to be the Arcanine to come back onto the field.
Yeah, once again, getting that Palafin out nice and early so we can go through a 0 to hero transformation later on, and the Palafin matching the same strategy on Gabrielle's side of the field. I think it's interesting as well, we obviously get a sneak peek into what Paul is bringing. It's the same 4 Pokemon here, so trusting them to be able to try and carry this through to push for a game 3.
Alright, well, we are going to see a Terrestrialization once again onto the Baxcalibur to make it a Terra Poison type right away. What a strong strategy for Gabrielle in that game number 1, and so he's going to run it back here.
I honestly see no reason to do anything else at this point. It gives the Baxcalibur so much safety coverage, but the Fluttermane not playing into it, going for that Shadow Ball instead of the Fairy type move, not quite enough
early on. Beforehand, you saw how much damage that Flutter Mane took on that very first turn, and you also were able to dish out more damage in return because you chose the Shadow Ball instead.
Exactly, and that's unfortunate. There would have been nice damage on the board there for Gabriel. Of course, the Arcanine in a position to threaten down against that opposing Amoonguss, and I really like the way Gabriel is playing this, actually saying, you know, I'm going to preserve that Excalibur once again. You really don't have a way to deal with it, so possibly in the end game, it's a nice way to clean up, and Arcanine's going to come out and throw down and intimidate against the opposing Arcanine, maybe buy that Amoonguss a bit of breathing room. It's first of all going to have to take another choice make Shadow Ball here. Again, not quite enough to be able to get a two-hit knockout against it.
No, it's not.
Getting that KO on the board, and I think the double up was a really nice play. Knowing the Shadow Ball wasn't quite going to be enough, but that's why you have your Arcanine there to help out and go for a powerful Flare Blitz. This now does give a little bit of an issue to Gabriel here. You don't necessarily have the momentum to switch in that Amoonguss, start putting Pokemon to sleep, and I think critically using that Polypuff. Both the Amoongusses on these trainers teams have been so critical in that supportive role, and I think looking at how their speed interactions are going, I guess it's going to be interesting as well, because not only are you trying to put Pokemon to sleep, you're trying to heal your Pokemon before they take damage. Coming in for Gabriel here. It can apply a lot of pressure, of course, to that opposing Flutter Mane, and I see no surprises why it's then leaving the field. You want to maybe go looking for a different move into later turns. We're going to see the Arcanine doing perfect time, choosing physical attack on the opposing side of the field. Plus, the safety goggles means that it cannot be put to sleep by that opposing Amoonguss.
Yes, an excellent choice here for Paul. In fact, we'll see a double switch to get Zone Paladin off the field. Make sure that it can come back in nice and strong as well, as it will be Amoonguss, the fourth and final reveal here for Paul. So it feels like it got away with that spot free, knowing that it had that HP recovery available. And now Paul has to switch back into this Flutter Mane that left the field so early on in the game.
It may be the early rise, but that Flutter Mane is in a difficult spot because it cannot protect. It is going to be vulnerable to something like a Spore if Raw wants to leave it on the field. And then it's going to be in a difficult spot where it needs to be able to wake up, deal some big damage, and not do what happened in one.
I think this is a really smart play here by Gabriel because, yeah, you are locked into having to take some damage here, but like you know that the Flutter Mane can't protect, you know that Gabriel can't see it. So he will have to take a Shadow Ball here, but in response, it does land a Spore onto Paul's Flutter Mane.
Yes, and now the Flutter Mane very vulnerable to that Palafin in the next turn. We can see the double up to Amoonguss takes the below 50%. This is going to activate Fairy, so the Amoonguss can't utilize that going forward. But I really do think Gabriel has all the kind of
for the wave crash, and it landed into the Amoonguss.
Of course, if you're Gabriel, you now have the utility to bring the Arcanine from the back. You only have 2 remaining Pokemon. You are going to be able to intimidate the Palafin, but you have no way to do any kind of defensive terrors. That's already gone on your Excalibur. Palafin in a very, very strong position to get another knockout here.
It's gonna still have to see if it can wake up here, but I think Gabriel...
Congratulations, several years on after that second place finish on the international stage. He's done it. He's the champion here in London at the European International Championships. I mean, what an epic best of 3 match that was. Gabriel Garden came so close, but Paul was right out of the blocks there, getting the KO straight onto the Excalibur with the double up. I think that gave him the edge give it that HP whenever it needed it. I think they are a match made in heaven, to be honest.
I mean, every superhero needs a sidekick,
Oh,
right?
for sure.
So I guess that's what Amogus is able to get up to, but fantastic showing between both of our trainers. The fact that we saw Gabrielle actually take the win in that earlier Swiss round, Paul being able to bring it back, actually get the reverse sweep here in this best of 3 finals. We couldn't have asked for anything better to close out our European International Championships this weekend. It's on the stage with Costa.
And we are here with your new 2023 European International Champion, in what was hands down one of the most incredible finals I have personally seen, and I think a lot of people will agree with me there. Paul, how are you feeling, sir, as the new champ?
Feeling pretty happy. I got a little lucky in the last game though, so you know, I guess that's just Pokemon sometimes. But
I mean, you were playing to your win conditions. There was a lot to process in all 3 of those games. I think going into understanding the Palafin as well as the Amogus prioritization of redirection as well as the pollen puff is so integral for both of your teams that you have, which have a lot of very common ground when it comes to the way that they've been built. So going into, I think you mentioned there were a couple of turns where we had seen first turn wakes. However, you were playing to your win conditions in such an incredible way. It was just back and forth predictions from both of you to the point where, honestly, it's such a treat to see both for newer players as well as veteran players at this level. It's just so appropriate. So going into, obviously you had the game lost. What was your mindset in trying to bring it back? Because I believe Gabriel did go ahead and win out that game 1.
yeah, so we won that first game pretty convincingly. I just knew I probably needed to conserve Palafin a little better. I need to keep like Fluttermane alive. So the most important thing was just trying to figure out what he was going to Terra with Max Caliber. That's why in the first game I just Dazzling Gleam, because I thought maybe this stay as the Dragon type. So that's why in the second game I switched up to Shadow Ball to try and do a little more damage. I tried to cover in case he tried to double into my Fluttermane on the first turn with like Terra Water, Jet Punch on his shard. So yeah, that's why I kept switching into Argument in the first 2 games. So third game I was just like learning just to try and one-shot it with a Wave Crash, Shadow Ball.
And I think it was an excellent play to make as well, because at some point you start entering the phase of the set where it's all about certain conditioning of based off of the previous turns that you played and the sort of win conditions you're trying to identify onto the board. So I think in game 3 we saw a very, I'd say fire, but it was like a baby Palafin Water Terra type play, of course, in that turn 1 where you doubled in with the Shadow Ball as well as the Wave Crash from baby Palafin to the point where you picked up the KO straight off the bat onto the Bat's Caliber, rendering Gabrielle's availability of terrestrialization completely null. It was gone. So do you think that was a very pivotal turn going into that final deciding game?
Yeah, I think that was probably the most pivotal moment. I got a little too excited after that, so I kind of made a few mistakes after. So I got bailed out by that, but I guess it's just my fault for letting myself get to my head after getting such an early lead.
I mean, it's quite tough because you're trying to find a way to bring yourself back up, saying it's not over, let's not get carried away. But I think Gabriel, of course, did a really good job in clinching himself in, trying to regain board state for him, which he did at some point with all of the spore interactions we saw. But thankfully for yourself, we saw that you were able to break through the sleep condition, take full maximum advantage, and actually go ahead and play outstandingly well. So I would say at this point, you are the new European International Champion. What is next for you for the remainder of this season?
So my next one is probably just an American regional, like Hartford's probably my next one. Just like whatever's like around me, like on the East Coast of the US, NAIC obviously, because I live in NA. So
it would be quite unfortunate if you weren't able to make it, of course, in your home region. However, do you have any final shout-outs that you would like to give away to anybody, of course, with this huge triumphant victory and title you've been able to claim?
I mean, there's a lot of people. Just like, so just picking to start, just thanks to all my family and friends for supporting me. You know, everyone here, online, all that. You guys are great. Couldn't be here without you.
All right, well, you heard it here from your new European International Champion of 2023. as well as champions this weekend. So, you won't want to miss it, and we'll be right back.
Hello London, we are still in this European International Championships 2023 and I am with, what's your name actually?
I'm looking forward to seeing you at these events, but thank you so much for joining us, and we're wishing you the very best, and thank you of course to everyone at home. My name is Kostai Dimos, and we are on the floor here with one of the staff members of this event. We've got George. Hello George, how does it feel?
It is insane to be in a hall of this size with so many people, truly mind-boggling.
The amount of passion and love that everyone's here with your finalists and champions for the 2023 European International Championships! Thank you to all the trainers who competed at the 2023 Pokemon European International Championships.
3 is going to be an event to tune into. Thank you to everyone who competed in person and those tuning in online. It is time to recognize this event's finalists and crown our champions.
Congratulations to our video game junior finalist, Federico!
And a round of applause and congratulations to our video game junior champion, Pietro!
Next, our video game senior finalist, Kylan!
And give it up for our video game senior champion, Mattea! And a big round of applause for our video game Masters champion, Paul Chua! Let's give another round of applause for our 2023 European International Pokemon finalists!
Thank you to everyone who competed this weekend across the Pokemon video game, the Pokemon trading card game, Pokemon Go, and Pokemon Unite.
And thank you to our spectators, wherever you are in the world. We're excited to see the passion, the energy, both here and in person, on stream, supporting our community.
So then, until next time, this has been the XL London with the European International Championships. See you later this season, and take care everybody!
Right, so it's just gone a little past 5:30 now, and it is the end. It is the end of the European International Championships. And as we can see, it's absolutely dead. Everyone's left. I think everyone left as soon as the last Masters ended. But yeah, honestly, it's crazy. The Masters was absolutely amazing. I managed to see Ashane, Liam and Sophie. That was pretty cool. Tiara Star. 3 and 6, so not too bad for Liam. That's pretty good. So I mean, obviously he's been streaming, training, so good for him. Better than me, obviously. Obviously I did go, but you know, either way. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. So XL goodbye for another month, I suppose. So yeah, okay, cool. Still seems maybe some people are still trading a little bit. They are indeed. They'll probably get kicked out soon. That guy. No, I shouldn't. Vending machine series he has, and I shouldn't buy anymore. But he was good. I got some of my cards off of in the middle. His name's Alex. Very nice guy. So yeah, that is it. We are duns. We're dunzos. Spent too much money, I must admit. Too much money. But what can I do? I'm a man with a problem. Well, man of many problems actually. But we digress and we move along. So yeah, with my swag, my last day of swag. Yeah, not much else to say. That's it. Pokemon's done. Really great event. I'm really happy I came. Super buzzed. Yeah, European International Championships 2023. Although I kept thinking must be a pain in the ass to set all this up and then take it all down. But you know, not my job. So, but I'll see you guys back at the Cup Cup. Just half an hour later, I am out from the centre and I am on the cable car. So it was a little bit of a tiny bit of a queue, but yeah, that's it. No more. I'll see the XL back in May. We'll see it again for Comic-Con, where it's going to be a different kettle of fish entirely. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I can't wait for Comic-Con. I'm very excited. I've got not one, but two costumes. 2 new costumes. So yeah, that's going to be very interesting, very fun. But yeah, so we are just slowing down for some reason. As long as we're not fucking stopping like we did this morning. But I don't think I mentioned. I'll turn it around because I can't be arsed, it's easier. And also, it makes it easier for me not to look at myself as well. I always do that. I'm always looking at myself and I'll look back on the footage and I'll be like, what was I looking at? Oh yeah, me. Yeah, because of the fact of I was waiting mid-air for 20 minutes, I don't think it was everyone, but they gave me a free ride basically. So I would assume it's just the one ride through, but still, that's fine. That saves me £6. So that's really good. I'll take that. So yeah, so I'm gonna get a free ride in May. So woohoo! So wasn't all bad, but honestly, when it fucking stopped, I really hope, I haven't looked at the footage yet, but I really hope it comes across how fucking hard of a stop it was. Like, I literally thought the fucking cart was about to fucking turn up and fucking drop down. That seriously put the shits up me. Honestly, mate. But anyway, I'm fine, it's fine. And yeah, we're all good. But the juniors was a bit of a slaughter, really, for the young kid. I can't remember his name, but they're both Italian. I couldn't say that either. One of the other kids, I was like, he absolutely fucking swept the floor with him. It was crazy. He was a slaughter, man, I tell you. But the seniors, that was really good. The seniors was really interesting. Really decent match. It was quite tight. And then the Masters, there's just such a difference between even the seniors and the Masters. Like, it's just insane how different it is. Like, the amount of switching in the fucking Masters was just, it's crazy. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Hats off to what was his name? Paul, I think his name was. So yeah, hats off to him. He really clutched that one out with a fucking sleeping Amogus. Sleeping Palafin. So yeah, good on him, man. Good on him. So I shall see you guys next time for MCM Comic Con in May, which is like 40 days away. So was it 8 weeks? Just literally. No, wait. No. That's not how maths works. A month and a bit. A month and a bit. So yeah. I don't know what month it is clearly. But yeah, so I will I'll see you guys then. So yeah. I don't know how to end it off, so just peace, I guess. I'll see you then. Bye.